Okay, sasa tutaanza, then we'll see about this general guideline. So these are general guideline training for newbies. So we'll go through the general guideline, all of it, and then we'll just see what you're supposed to do when you log in and you get a job to do. So these general guidelines, they are the basic guidelines. VERBIT applies to all transcriptions. So meaning that all the jobs that you'll encounter kwa platform utahitaji kutumia hii general guideline so as to do the job. So the basic rules zenye utatumia kufanya kazi kwa hizo account. So ukipata kazi, hizi ndio rules zenye unakuwa expected kutumia so that it can guide you when you are doing the jobs. So every transcriber so mwenye anafanya kazi, everyone is supposed to read the instructions and the rules and then follow them carefully. So unakuwa expected that once umefungua account, unatafuta kazi, umekuwa kama umeshasoma hizi guidelines. So you can't do any job without reading the guidelines, or you should not do any job without kusoma hizi guideline. So in VERBIT transcription, there are two main categories of guidelines. So we have the clean read guidelines and we have the verbatim guidelines. So with this guideline, the general guideline, tutaangalia how to do the clean read guideline through the clean read overview. Then tuangalie how to do the verbatim jobs by looking at the verbatim overview, and then we'll see the differences zenye ziko between clean read and verbatim. So you are being reminded that that for every job there is also job specific guideline. So job specific guideline, these are the client guidelines, so they are direct guidelines from the client. So with the general guidelines, the company or VERBIT has outlined their rules and expectations za vitu zenye unafaa kuwa ukifanya. But now the job specific guidelines, these are guidelines that are specific to that job. So you'll find that after reading the general guideline, log in hapo kwa account, then claim job, utapata that kuna guideline yenye huwa ina pop up ukishachukua kazi. So hiyo guideline yenye ina pop up, then uisome, then ujibu hizo maswali, hiyo ndio inaitwa job specific guidelines. So hizo ni guidelines za client. So client amesema amespecify use clean read to do my job, or use legal guidelines to do this job, and at a specify maybe you can start a sentence using the word and, or you can start a sentence using the word so, or atakwambia saa zingine you use British English ukifanya hii kazi. So hizo ni sheria na masharti za customer ama client. So you should be able to use the job specific guideline and the general guidelines all at the same time. So having said that, we'll now look at the clean read overview. So clean read is just one of the type of jobs zenye ziko kwa platform. So you'll find that log in kwa platform, there'll be various jobs. So zingine utaambiwa ni verbatim, zingine utaambiwa ni legal, zingine utaambiwa ni ni clean read, zingine utaambiwa ni clean read with audio tags. So hiyo ni clean read inahitaji audio tags. Then zingine utaambiwa ni maybe verbatim with audio tags, or maybe utaambiwa ni special clean read with word bank. Zingine utaambiwa hii ni clean read, maybe technical clean read. So however, as much as kuna two types of guidelines, but those are not the main guidelines zenye ziko kwa platform. So utapata even with clean read there are different types of clean read. So for example, ukiambiwa clean read with audio tags, inamaanisha that utahitaji kutumia audio tags kwa hiyo clean read, but bado the concept is clean read. So the bigger umbrella is that kuna clean read jobs na kuna verbatim jobs. Then pia kuna another branch of jobs zenye zinaitwa legal jobs. So that one there'll be another video yenye tutafanya yenye inaongelea tu legal jobs pekee. But now with today's for example, kama hii kazi yenye hapa sasa yenye nimeclaim, inakwambia hii ni special clean read transcription. So itakwambia special clean read transcription iko na hizi ni rules za clean read. But why is it special? Unaambiwa that in addition, make sure that the speaker name is separated with two arrows. So ukifanya hiyo kazi, hata kama unajua jina ya speaker, maybe the speaker is called John, but you will not use the name of the speaker because job specific guideline imesema utumie arrow mbili ku signify the speaker change. So anytime the speaker changes, utakuwa unatumia these two arrows. Now this is what we call the job specific guideline. So this is a job specific guideline. This guideline is specific to this job. Maybe utapata kazi ingine iko na another guideline yenye iko different with this one, but when you ukisoma general guideline, so this is the general guideline. Hii ni general guideline, imeleta tu general information, but now this is job specific guideline. But these guidelines zina work hand in hand, although this one it overrides the general guideline. So what do we mean by overriding the general guideline? What that means is that, for example, in the general guideline utapata hapo kwa speaker, for example, itakwambia, let me just find penye inaongelea kuhusu mambo na speaker names. So utapata, for example, inakwambia that if speaker names are not listed, you should use male 1, male underscore 1, female underscore 1, or unknown 1. Then inakwambia okay, so let's focus hapo kwa speaker names. So for example, the general guideline ina specify that kama kuna speakers kama the speaker names are not listed, like ujaambiwa majina ya watu wenye wanaongea hapo. So for example, ukijua jina ya mtu ni John, unafaa utumie John, but kama ijakuwa listed, unafaa utumie male 1, female underscore 1 na unknown underscore 1. So hiyo ni venye guideline nataka, general guideline nataka, but hapa the client amespecify vizuri that make sure that each speaker name is separated by easy arrow. So it means that hatutatumia hizo mambo na male underscore 1, female underscore 1, ama hatutatumia pia kama tunajua jina ya mtu mwenye anaongea, maybe jina yake imesemwa hapo kwa transcript. So for example, hapa inatuambia, this example 1 inatuambia that it is incorrect tukisema hey everyone, welcome back, my name is Andy and I'm your host for tonight, with me is Jane. Hi everyone, my name is Jane and I'll be your new co-host. So unaona hapa kwa speaker name hawajaweka hizo arrows, so unaambiwa that is incorrect. The correct one is kuweka hizi arrow mbili. So this arrow mbili, the greater sign arrow, then unaweka space, then unaanza kuandika kenye amesema. So hapa utaona kwamba amesema hi everyone, welcome back, my name is Andy. So hivi ndio unajua jina ya mtu mwenye anaongea. So hapa kama tushajua huyu ni Andy. Kama the guideline ilikuwa inataka tuweke speaker name, tungeweka jina huyu ikue Andy hapa penye tumeweka arrow. But now because the guideline ime request specifically that tunatumia hizi arrow mbili, then for the speaker names we will not use the name Andy and we will not use the name Jane. We will just use these arrows for each speaker name. So speaker name akichange tunatumia hizo arrows. Now having said that, now this rule has overridden this one. So hii ilisema tunaweza tumia male 1 ama tutumie Andy ama Jane, but now because hiyo ime request specifically that tutumie hizi arrows, tutatumia tu hizo arrows. So ukisha soma hizo guideline, then you'll have to check this box, then you say next. After checking that box, then you'll answer a few questions depending with venye umesoma hiyo the job specific guideline. So for example, hapa inauliza what kind of transcript is this again? Tunajua ni clean read. So in the back of our mind, we know this is a clean read. So we will read the answers. It's a clean read. You cut, you like cut. So if you see this, vitu kama hizo tunafaa tutoe kwa clean read. So the answers ni zina play to with your mind so that they know if you know what clean read means. So if there is these things like and like cut off and easy even like and so inamaanisha there is a incorrect answer. Then also this one says it's a verbatim transcript. No, it's not a verbatim transcript kwa sababu tukifungua hiyo kazi ilituambia that this is a clean read transcription. So imeandika hapa special clean read transcription. Clean read means cutting out all of those. So tunajua vizuri that this is not a verbatim transcript, meaning the correct answer will be that one. Then the second question inauliza that 3 people in the video are arguing passionately. How do I differentiate them? So kama hii ni ya kuuliza kuhusu speaker names, how do you differentiate speakers wenye wana argue? So the first answer inasema I only transcribe whoever shouts the loudest. No. Then I put an inaudible because I can't hear anything they are saying. No, that's a wrong answer. I use dash dash but only for the first speaker. No, every speaker should be separated with using these arrows. So meaning the correct answer will be I use 2 arrows to signify each speaker. I try to prioritize whoever is most relevant to the discussion. So this one is the correct answer. Now the third question will say that what is the correct transcription for this file? Gonna. So ukisoma the job specific guideline unaambiwa that, or if ukisoma clean read guidelines unaambiwa that clean read means cutting out. Clean read means, so I'll just pull out this section here. It says that clean read, the purpose of clean read to ensure that the transcript is concise and clear without interruption. We omit any starters, filler words, interruptions, partial words, and false starts. The transcription should be free of slang. So the guideline, so hapo naona tena tunarudi kwa general guidelines, inasema that the transcription should be free of slang. So ukiona kitu kama gonna, wanna, gotta, vitu kama hizo ni slang. Gonna, wanna, gotta, because this one means going to. Wanna means wants to. So hizo ni slang, tunafaa tutoe slang. So that's a wrong answer. Then hii hapa inasema going to. So this one has partial, this is a partial word. So with clean read we omit partial words. For example, I love you. So this is a partial word because ni lo part of love, sindio? So unapata hiyo ni partial word. So with clean read tunafaa tutoe partial word. So meaning this is not a correct answer. Going to can be a correct answer because ni normal and it's full. Then going, this is also a slang, so we should not incorporate slang. Then how do I incorporate slang into the transcript? So we know that we are not supposed to incorporate slang. So you'll choose an answer that says I'm not supposed to incorporate slang. This is a clean read file. Then if you have answered all the questions correctly, you should unafaa ufinye submit. Ukifinya submit, if all the answers are correct, itafungua kazi. If even one answer is not correct, utapewa chance ya kurudia kusoma the job yenye the guideline yenye umesoma hapo. Then now after umefungua kazi, one thing you should look at is for example, nikifungua kazi hivi nione hii kazi ni 9 minutes and 16 seconds, but vitu zenye zimetaipiwa hapa ni kidogo hivi. hiyo nishajua tu already that hii kazi maybe iko na audio mbaya. But now what I wanted to show you is how to kuweka hizo speaker ukiambiwa that you should use hizi arrows. So utakuja hapa, say for example mtu wa kwanza ameanza kuongea hapo, then what you'll do is utaweka hizo arrows na uweke space hivyo, then unaandika vitu zenye amesema. Let's say if this is the second person, ni a different person, then pia utamwekea space na utaweka hizi arrows then uweke space. So these ones are signifying that there is a speaker change. So hivyo ni kuna speaker change, hapo pia kuna speaker change, let's say hapa pia kuna speaker change. So this will mean that maybe hawa ni two speakers but wanaongea after each other, but now let's say that it's only one speaker, then what you'll do is combine hizi zote zikue as one paragraph because there is no other person mwenye anaongea. So if there is no other person mwenye anaongea, then what you'll do is combine hizi zote na zikue as one paragraph, even if it's a long paragraph until wamalize kuongea, then you'll have to separate that. If there are only maybe two people, then maybe you can do something like that, but you have to listen to the audio and do it venye unafaa uifanye. Now ukiangalia kwa hii job specific guideline, hakuna place mention that we should use the audio tags. So ukiangalia hapa, it doesn't mention that we should use audio tags. But now if you go back to the general guideline, the general guideline specify very well hapa kwa audio rules. Is it the audio rules kweli? No, ina specify hapa in the platform rules inasema that only use the audio tags if an audio tag box is present on the left side of the screen. So if the audio tag is not present, say for example uliambiwa hapa kwa job specific guideline that you can use the audio tag but it's not present ukifungua kazi, let's say for example tufungue hivi, so these are the audio tags. Ukiona hapo umeandikwa audio tags, so you can use the music, laughter, you can use noise, applause, foreign, overlapping, then kuna background. So you can only use these if they are available, venye ziko available hapa. Kama hii box haiko, if it is not there, even if the instructions hapa imesema you can use the audio tag, you cannot use it because it's not available. So because ukiona hapa kwa platform rules inasema kwamba you only use the audio tags if an audio tag box is present on the left side of the screen. So tukiangalia hapa, the audio tags are present on the left side of the screen, but the rules hazikutuambia tutumie, so tutazitumia because zimekuwa provided. Sawa. And if the rule imesema that tutumie audio tags, but if we go to the job hakuna audio tags, then we cannot use these audio tags because haziko. So how to use the audio tags is that so this one should be on another lesson, but I'll just tell you on a rough note is that let's say for example mtu aliongea hapa, then mtu akacheka hapo, then what you'll just do utaklik tu hapo, then itaweka hiyo laughter. Or let's say huyu mtu aliongea then akakuwa interrupted hapo, then akakuwa interrupted hapo, alisema you want to hear, then blah blah blah, na hajamaliza kuongea, then what you should use unaweka hapo overlapping, kwa sababu huyu ameongea juu yake, then una type huyu mtu mwenye ameongea. Sawa. So that's what you should do kama wame provide easy audio tag. But now if they don't provide the audio tag na huyu mtu amesema you want to hear, then huyu mtu akaongea tu hivyo, then what you do is you'll just delete this part yenye hakumaliza, then unaendelea. So that's how you use the audio tags. Now going back to the I just wanted to explain the job specific guideline. And now even if you have opened the job venye tumefungua hivi and you want to access the job specific guideline, you can just click this place here, click hapo, then itakuletea the job specific guidelines. So that's just another way of accessing the job specific guideline. You just click hapo. Now going back to the guideline, tunaangalia the clean read overview. So with a clean read overview, wanasema that the purpose of clean read is to ensure that the transcript is concise and clear without interruptions. We omit any stutters, filler words, interruptions, partial words, and false starts. The transcription should be free of slang, irrelevant interjections, and nonverbal communication. We do not summarize or paraphrase. Make sure that you are maintaining the meaning of the sentence. If a filler word helps to preserve the overall meaning of a sentence, do not erase it. For example, a sparrow is a kind of bird. So, clean read, we can say that normally we talk in verbatim. So the way people talk, that is verbatim, because we make interruptions, we make stutters. Even right now when I'm talking, you can hear me saying so those are what we call the fillers, because that's the nature of human beings, is that we talk with these filler words, interruptions, partial words. Saa zingine tunaanza sentence, tunaacha katikati. So the clean read, ukifanya kazi ya clean read, ni tunataka kwamba hizi interruptions and also filler words zizikue kwa sentence, so that nikisoma sentence after mtu aongee, then I should be able to read them without stop juu kuna filler words, maybe kuna stutter, ama kuna partial words, ama kuna false starts. So it should be just a clean read. Yeah, so it should be a clean read. But now the verbatim is opposite of that. You need to include almost everything. When we talk about filler words, so filler words, these are words such as I'll just write some of them here. So ukiona words kama words kama like, words kama, for example, kind of, words kama, for example, soft, sort of, then so these kind of words, these are known as filler words. Other words zenye ni filler words ni kama kuna, for example, these are the variations za hizo, kuna then kuna so these are examples of common filler words. For example, and other words like okay kama imeanza sentence, words kama all right pia kama imeanza sentence. So these are normal. So hizi unafaa ukuwe tunayo on the back of your mind, that ukiziona kama ziko kwa sentence, they are likely to be filler words. And these filler words ukitaka kuzijua ni words zenye mtu akiongea you can put a comma around them na bado sentence isomeke tu vizuri. So let's say for example, if I use the word like so maybe I'll say I went to play some games in the park. So if my sentence is that I went to play some games in the park, then ukiangalia sentence the words zenye zinafaa uangalie tuna useme this can be a filler word, utaona words kama so these are words zenye ukiweka comma around them bado sentence inaweza jisoma kama I went to play some games in the park. So you see, filler words, they don't add any substantial meaning to the sentence. So for example, I went to play some games in the park. So this one is a filler word. And now even this word we can replace it with I went to like play some games in the park, or uh, I went to kind of play some games in the park, or I went to sort of play some games in the park, or I went to play some games in the park, or I went to play some games in the park. So these are filler words. You can uh, the sentence can do without them. So you can see this one, I can just change ikwe, kind of, ikwe sort of, ikwe uh, no, of course easy, they can't be used in that place. But now when a sentence, so let's say for example I went to play some games in the park. But now you can have a sentence like uh, did you know he was at the gym? So when someone says that, did you know he was at the gym, then this one is now not a filler word. Hapa is not a filler word. So what I'm trying to say is that you should always be careful when you want to delete a filler word, because for example if you remove he, the sentence will be like did he was at the gym. So that one doesn't make a lot of sense, or it doesn't make sense completely. But now if you see this sentence here, it says I went to play some games in the park. So this one is a filler word, but this one is not a filler word. And the same way, if I say for example, the example that is in the sentence, a sparrow is a kind of bird. So hapa kind of normally is a filler word, but venye imetumika hapa it means a sparrow is a type of bird. Unajua ukisema tu a sparrow is a bird, yes, it means, it makes sense, but ukiongeza it's a kind of bird, it preserves the overall meaning of the sentence. So we know that it's just a type of bird. It's a bird, but it's a type of bird. So that one adds meaning to the sentence. So when a filler word adds a meaning to the sentence, then you do not erase it. So you should always be able to differentiate when a word is a filler word or is not a filler word. But now these ones should be on the back of your mind, that if you see them, they'll always be filler words. But now there are some words that unaweza ziweka kwa comma, unaweza weka comma around them, but they are not filler words. So let's say for example mtu akisema truly, mtu akisema truly I say to you, truly I say to you, she was let's say maybe let's say truly I say to you, she was beautiful. So this one unaweza sema truly comma I say to you, she was beautiful, or truly I say to you comma she was beautiful. So you'll find that bado unaweza soma truly she was beautiful. Beautiful, yeah, beautiful nimefanya iko hivyo. So you say truly I say to you she was beautiful. Now we surround this with comma, but now these are, we call them intentionally said words, because asipozisema hatuwezi ziandika, but juu amezisema lazima tuziandike. So now these ones they are intentional filler words. So intentional filler words pia you don't have to delete them, because they add some meanings to the sentence. Hapa mtu amezisema intentionally, or let's say someone says obviously she was beautiful. So this obviously you can easily delete it kama unaweza iona ni kama filler word, but it's not a filler word. These are intentionally said words. Ni intention yake kusema obviously. So these ones you just leave them in. So the usual suspects filler words, or the usual filler words ni easy hapa. So easy, you just have to use the kuzijua on the back of your head. And also the words okay and all right may not be filler words. So let's say for example mtu akisema for example, this sentence someone says she was beautiful. So let's say amesema okay, she was beautiful. So this one, mtu akisema okay, she was beautiful, this one does not add any meaning to the sentence, so you'll have to delete it. Or maybe aseme all right, then aseme all right, she was beautiful. Then this one, you'll have to delete the word all right at the beginning of a sentence. But now if it comes here, let's say someone says she was beautiful, okay? So this one, you don't have to delete this okay, because hii hapa inafanya aje, ina add meaning juu hii sasa ni question tag, anauliza swali. So hii ukitoa itakuwa ni kama hii ni statement, but initially it's not a statement, ni swali yenye imeuliza she was beautiful, okay? Anataka confirm kama kenye statement yake ni ukweli. So ikikuja hapa as a question tag, you don't have to delete it, but ikikuja at the beginning of a sentence the word okay, then you can just delete it. There is no harm in deleting it. You can delete it, but we here will use the term omit it, like unai omit. Yeah, so that's the mambo na filler words. So to learn more filler words, you can always Google so that ujue what are filler words. So ukigoogle hapo filler words, it should give you the example of filler words. For example, say filler words in transcription, then it should give you filler words in speech such as and you know are part of verbatim transcription. Including these can sometimes enlighten a reader to a deeper understanding and insight of what was going on in a respondent's mind when they were answering a question. So always fanya research zako ujue what filler words are, so that usimess kwa kazi ukianza. Now we also omit starters, filler words and interruptions. So starters inaweza confuse sana na repetition. So starters ni mtu ana starter. So let's say for example mtu anasema I went to then arudie. So starters na repetition, they are more or less the same. I went to play I went to play some games in the park. So if someone says I went to play some games in the park, then this one is starter. This person is stuttering, ama anarudia maneno, anakaa kigugumizi. So the way kigugumizi huongea, hiyo ni stuttering or stammering. Stuttering is the same as stammering. So hizo stutters tunazitoa kwa clean read transcription. Kama ni verbatim transcription, then we'll just include them, and that's how tunaweka kwa verbatim transcription. Kama tunazi include, unaweka to dash hapa to notate that huo mtu ana starter. So we'll say I went to play some games in the park. Then kama kuna I went to play some games in the park. So kama ni verbatim, this is how you'll write it. I went to play some games in the park. So in filler words in the verbatim tunaweka comma around the filler word. So this is the filler word, tunaweka comma ya kwanza, then space, then tunaandika the filler word, then comma, then play some games in the park. Then this is how we tunaandika the starter kwa verbatim. But kama ni clean read, then you'll have to remove the first part so that ubaki na part moja, then pia utoe this filler word. Now going back now to the guideline, so we omit starters, filler words, interruptions, partial words and false starts. So tumeshaongea kuhusu starters. Starters ni mtu anajirudia rudia. Filler words ni words kama kind of, vitu kama hizo. Interruptions ni, for example, when you are talking, let's say there's a discussion of two people, but someone ameshinda akisema okay, okay, so ni hizo let's say hizo response. Mtu anaongea, then useme, let's say anasema I went to play in the park, then hapa katikati huyo mtu mwingine respond na okay, then we will omit that okay, because hiyo ni just active listening. So we'll focus with mtu mwenye anasema vitu za maana, but hizo interruptions kama okay, alright, mtu anaongea na mtu mwingine anasema alright, okay, alright, vitu kama hizo, then hizo tutazitoa kwa sababu hizo ni unnecessary interruptions, hatutazi include kwa transcript. So you can easily, kama zimetypiwa na AI, you can delete them, or kama hazijatypiwa you can just omit them. Then partial words, these are just part of the word yenye mtu amesema but haja complete. So let's say for example, huyu mtu aseme she was beautiful, then partial word will be like she was beautiful. So this is, alikuwa anataka kusema beautiful but hakuimaliza in the first instance. So let's say she was beautiful. Now kama ni verbatim, this is how you'll write it, but kama ni clean read na aseme she was beautiful, then tutatoa hiyo partial word. Partial word sasa itakuwa hiyo b hivyo, beautiful. And now sometimes utapata kama imeandikwa, let's say for example alisema you are beautiful, you are beautiful, then e part, because it's not a complete word, ni maana inaitwa partial word. So partial word is just part of the word, full word. So the full word is beautiful, but alisema for the first time alisema beautiful, then akasema beautiful. So we'll have to omit this one in clean read. Tuta omit hiyo first part ya partial word. We'll omit the partial word. So equate to she was beautiful, okay? Now ukinini angalia now kitu naitwa nini, false start. Now false start ni mtu ameanza sentensi but hajamalizia sentensi. Then let's say for example aseme I saw the, then achane na hiyo, then aseme she was beautiful, okay? So this part here ini false start, because hapa anaanza sentensi I saw the, then akaachana na hiyo sentensi. This person has changed his or her train of thought. So alianza sentensi I saw the, then akasema she was beautiful, okay? So if it's verbatim tutaeka dash hapo, then tuanzishe another sentence with a capital letter, then tuseme I saw the, unaweka hiyo dash space, then she was beautiful, okay? So kama ni verbatim tuta include hiyo yote, but with clean read tumeambiwa kwamba we omit the false start. So the false start ni hii hapa juu, ameanza hii sentence but hakuimaliza. So hii inaitwa false start. It's a false start, like ameanzisha sentence but akaiacha. That's why it's called false start. It's a false start. So we'll delete it so that tubaki na a full sentence yenye ina make meaning. So those are the things mostly zenye tuna omit kwa clean read. Now tunaambiwa kwamba pia the transcription should be free of slang, irrelevant interjections and nonverbal communication. So let's say for example mtu amepiga makofi, hiyo itafall kwa nonverbal communication. Ama mtu awink, so ufai kuandika mtu amewink, ufai pia kuandika mtu amepiga, kwa wote mtu amepiga makofi, unless kuna hizi audio tags kama applause, ndio unaweza applause. But kama mtu amewink, tuseme for example mtu ame nod, you don't have to write that mtu ame nod. So in a clean read and as well as in verbatim, we don't atuandiki nonverbal communication. Irrelevant interjections ni kama for example unaongea na mtu anasema okay, so ni kama hizi interruptions the same na irrelevant interjections. So unaongea na mtu anasema okay, anasema anasema aha. So hizo vitu hufai kuweka kwa clean read transcription, hizo unaizi ignore. Then also the transcription should be free of slang. So as I said before, slang you can also Google slang words na uzijue. So those are words then unafaa ufanye aje, but you should be careful with Google ukiangalia hizo vitu kama slang. So kama for example hapa it will not give you the main things yenye unafaa consider kama slang. So the things that you should consider as slang ni vitu kama mtu akisema gonna, mtu akisema for example wanna, no please. So if someone says gonna, that's a slang. If someone says wanna, that's a slang. If someone says gotta, that's a slang. If someone says y'all, that's also a slang. So and also if someone maybe says let's just use this. So for example, if someone says gonna, so now with slang you don't omit them, you change them. So mtu akisema gonna, what you'll write utaandika going to, because that's what it means. So mtu akisema gonna, you change it to going to. If someone says wanna, you'll change it to want to. So kama wanna uta change to want to. Then if someone says gotta, you'll change that one to got to. Got to. So easy uta change. Then y'all uta change to you all. So because this one is also a slang. So I'm not saying that unafaa uzichange hivi uweke dash hapo, no. Kama mtu amesema gonna, you'll just write going to. If someone says wanna, you just write want to. If someone says gotta, you just say got to. If someone says y'all, unaandika you all in full hivyo. So ini kama mtu amesema gonna, if someone says wanna, if someone says gotta, if someone says y'all. So those are just the basic slangs zenye unafaa ujue mtu akisema unazichange. So hizo slang you don't delete them completely, but unazichange to the formal English, because slang is not a formal English language. So unazichange to formal forms. So now that's still kwa clean read. Now in transcription, be it clean read or verbatim, we do not summarize or paraphrase. So usi summarize kitu yenye mtu amesema or paraphrase kenye mtu speech ya mtu. You don't have to do that. What you have to do is just so let's say for example someone says I went to play games in the park. So if I will sema I went to play some games in the park, usiandike I went in the park, so that nini ufanye aje, we just omit play some games. No, you don't have to do that. Usiseme I went to the park, because hiyo ina change meaning ya kitu alisema. So hapa we just in transcription you record everything yenye mtu alisema, you just remove vitu kama filler words and other stuff. So you don't have to correct grammar ya mtu. Even if someone says I went to play some games on the park, so if someone says on the park I went to play some games on the park or at the park, or even aseme to the park, kitu kama hiyo. You don't have to change this one to I went to play some games in the park, ama you don't have to change the grammar ya mtu. What you have to do is to just make sure that kama alisema to the park umeandika to the park, kama alisema in the park umeandika in the park. You don't have to paraphrase, you don't have to change the grammar ya mtu. You as a transcriber, you are not an English teacher kuangalia kama mtu ameandika sentence vibaya. No, wewe unafaa ukuwe unasikiza with your headphone or earphone, then you record kenye mtu amesema. So don't paraphrase, don't change the grammar, just record the vitu yenye mtu amesema. So make sure that you are maintaining the meaning of the sentence. If a filler word helps to preserve the overall meaning of a sentence, do not erase it. Hii tulishasema, for example, a sparrow is a kind of bird. So another rule is that words such as so at the start of a sentence are not always filler words. If the speaker begins many of his thoughts with the word so, then you can likely omit it. However, if the word so could be replaced with therefore and maintain the meaning of the sentence, then you should leave it in. So let's say, for example, so it should be clear to you how humans evolved from apes. So the rule of thumb is that usianzishe sentence with the word so. So if you have to use the word so, hiyo ni maybe the word so imaanishe therefore. So let's say, for example, mtu aseme so I went to play some games in the park. Then aseme so I went to play some games in the park. Then aseme and I went to play some games in the park and it was nice. Then let's say the computer ikasema so you should also visit sometime. So if a speaker says let me delete these ones. So if a speaker says so I went to play some games in the park and it was nice, so you should also visit sometime. So ukiangalia sentence you'll realize that tumeanza a sentence with the word so mara mbili. So so I went to play some games in the park or at the park. Let's say, just say I went to play some games at the park and it was nice, so you should visit sometimes. Ukiangalia hii so I went, it doesn't mean therefore. You can't say therefore I went to play some games to the park and it was nice, therefore you should visit sometime. No one will talk like that. What someone will say is I went to play some games in the park. So because the guideline in a request to me the word so at the beginning, we'll delete this one. But now ukiangalia the second word so, this one means therefore. Anajaribu kuambia nilienda nikacheza some games pale kwa park na nikapata ni mzuri, therefore hata wewe unafaa uvisit sometime. So if you have to use this one, then at least unafaa uweke comma hapo, then uweke the word so. If you have to use the word so, inafaa itumike kama therefore, and now the comma should be before the word therefore. And if you use the word so, we don't use a comma after the word so. Never should you use the comma after the word so. It will only come before the word so, and if the word so means therefore, we can replace this one with therefore. But akisema so, you should not write here therefore. I'm not saying that you replace this word with therefore. Unaangalia tu kama inamaanisha therefore, and now you can use the word so. But if it cannot be replaced with the word therefore, unafaa tu useme it was nice, then full stop. Then if the word so in a beginning sentence, just write you should also visit sometime. So hii sentence ikuwe tu I went to play some games and it was nice. You should also visit sometime. So alisema the word so hapa, but tume ignore because if we don't feel like imetumika kama the word therefore. So now we can ignore that the word so. So you should always use, you should just use the word so kama inamaanisha therefore, but kama inamaanishi therefore, then don't bother kuitumia juu the reviewer will remove it. I hope that's clear. Now another thing is, there's no need to expand words like it's, that's, etc, you've, you'll, and most of this sort. So this means that mtu akisema it's gonna rain or it's going to rain, then unafaa tu andike it's going to rain, usiandike it is going to rain. Kama amesema that's football, usiandike that is football. Akisema etc, usiandike etc. Akisema etc, usiandike etc. So don't change, don't expand or contract these words. Akisema you've, inafaa tu ikue you've, usiseme you have, or you'll, usiseme you will kama amesema you'll. So you should always take care of that. Na this one you'll just know it kama umeisikia vizuri. Ukitega masikio vizuri utajua kama mtu amesema it's ama it is. Yeah, and those are the normal things zenye saa zingine utapata kama inakuletea shida kidogo. Now this one here, when describing interface buttons or menu buttons, make sure to capitalize them and use the double quotes. Tabs and page names should be capitalized. Double quotes should only be used when describing an action of clicking the button. So someone says, now that we are inside the extension, I'm going to press upload and choose the file that I want to upload, and then click OK, then come back to the install page. So this sentence here, maybe ikikuja hapo and someone says, now that we are inside the extension, I'm going to press upload and choose the file that I want to upload and click OK, then come back to the install page. So this is what you'll write. Sa ikikuja itakuja hivi, senye unaifanya kama bado hujaipunctuate itakuja hivi, just normal nini hivyo. But now you are being told that when you are describing interface buttons, so interface buttons ni kama hizi, submit, this is an interface button. Nikisema for example help, this is an interface button. Submit, help, let's say for example unassign, these are interface button. So when I say that now that we are inside the platform, I'm going to press submit, then choose the file that I want to upload, and then click OK, then come back to the my files page. So what I'll do there is that I'll say, now that we are inside the platform, so hii yenye tunatumia hapa saa hii, when I'm inside the platform, I'm going to press submit. So hii button hapa, we are describing this button, I'm going to press submit, and you can see that it's describing an action of clicking a button. So I'm going to press submit. So this is what I'll write. I'm going to press submit, then naandika in capital, naandika ES in capital, then naeka double quotes and choose the file that I want to submit. So you see this one, now that you're inside the platform, I'm going to press I'm going to press submit and choose the file that I want to submit, and then click OK. So this one is also, we are clicking something, so I'll write click OK, and you should see how I'm punctuating this. E full stop imekuja after the double quotes because this is just an interface button. Then come back to my files page. So my files page ni kama hii page hapa yenye niliclaim job, so inaitwa my files page juu hapa imeandikwa my files. This is not a button juu hata nikiklik hapa hakuna kenye inafanyika. Nikiklik my files hakuna kitu inafanyika, so it's just a page. my files page. Hapa ndio napata files. So when I'm describing just a page, then I'll just say, then I click my files page. I don't need to kuweka hizo double quotes because this is just a page. It's not a button, excuse me. So this is what you should be doing. So mtu akisema kitu kama hiyo, this is what you should do. Akisema I'm going to press something, hiyo kitu na press unaiandika in a capital letter, then unaweka double quotes, sandwiching it. Now that is all about the clean read overview. Now verbatim overview is just the opposite of what you did at in the clean read. So a verbatim transcript includes a dialogue spoken word by word, including fillers, partial words, false starts, incorrect grammar, slang, stutters, and repetitions. Ensure that everything the speaker utters is written down. For stutters, partial words, and false starts, you use a dash. So ukipata starter, partial word, and false start, utatumia dash. For example of a starter, an example of a starter is I am going shopping. So unaona hapo tunatumia dash. Partial words tunasema close the window, I'm freezing. So you see this one is a partial word, so tunatumia dash kuionyesha. False start, for example, are you hungry for? Then akasema there's a great new place on the main street. So I just have to make a correction. If there is a false start, then the next sentence should inafaa ianze na small letter. Hapo nyuma nilisema inafaa ianze na capital letter. No, inafaa ianze na small letter according to the updated guideline. Kitambo ndio tulikuwa tunaanza na capital letter, but right now using this updated guideline tunaanza na small letter. So you'll see that alikuwa anataka kusema are you hungry for something else, but akaacha hiyo sentence, then akaanzisha there's a great new place on Main Street. So with the verbatim, that's what we do. Now filler words, we have spoken about filler words. So fillers are only added in a verbatim jobs. Fillers are words that do not add meaning to the text. For example, words kama you know, aha, all right, sort of, kind of, etc. Hizi ni filler words. These are filler words. Okay, etc is not a filler word, but these ones are filler words. Some words like all right may or may not be filler words depending on the context. Venye niliwaambia hapo, all right ikitumika kuuliza swali is not a filler word. So it's not a filler word. For example, ikisema we have decided to go to Disney, all right? So you see this one is not a filler word. Juu hapa all right imetumika kuuliza swali. But ikitumika at the beginning of a sentence, all right, so now let's go back to work, then you have to delete this all right and also the word so. So uanzishe tu now let's go back to work. Then always place commas around filler. So for example, they went to the store. So because this is a filler word, tunaweka comma around it. Now sounds like yada 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 and bang are important to include. So mtu akisema yada 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 blah blah blah, hizo they are not filler words, those are those are just important words to include. They are English words because yada 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 means blah blah blah. So even if someone says blah blah blah, then tunafaa tuzi include. So example of verbatim versus clean read is in verbatim we'll say like I wanted to tell you, about the presentation that I saw. So kama ni verbatim, this is how someone talked, then unafaa uiandike hivyo juu hivyo ndio aliongea, you include everything. But kama ni clean read, you'll just say I wanted to tell you about the presentation that I saw. So unatoa hizi words kama like and so this concludes the first part, verbatim versus clean read. Now in the next part tunaenda kusoma platform rules and other rules, and I'm glad that it's exactly on a 1 hour mark. venye niliplan for the first section. So I'll just stop the recording for this first section, then we'll proceed with the second section. Just 1 minute please.